Good morning, you guys. Right as I started this, the burrito truck went by, which is always a little bit funny because sometimes I'll be recording something live, like I've been recording videos and stuff in the past for one of the things that I'm here to talk with you guys about today, heart goals being one of those things. And the burrito truck runs by and it plays song like the ice cream truck, except it's the burrito truck, which I've never had one of the burritos from the burrito truck, but burritos that's probably pretty amazing, So anyway, they just drove by. Okay. In case you heard that. I am here today to talk to you about heart goals and what it looks like to apply that to your life on an annual basis. Heart goals is a framework that you can use to help you reset and rebalance your life on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. But today we're going to talk about specifically using heart goals for next year, heart goals for 2020. I've got like a little bit of sun there. It's kind of bright. There's the burrito truck again, in case you heard that. So really quick side note here, I live under a cultural rock, but apparently Kanye West released a Christian album recently. Was that today? Was that yesterday? I don't know. I feel the need to discuss that. I was just listening to it while I was putting on a little bit of makeup. I'm dressed up today because I'm going to a funeral this afternoon. But I don't typically like rap music or Kanye West, but for some reason I really liked some of Kanye's new album. I don't know. It's just like the funniest thing. I haven't even had time to like process that yet. So if you have any feedback, I've got this little bump under my nose, you guys. It's just a thing. I just got really self-conscious about it. Okay, we're talking about heart goals. I'm not going to look at anything on my face. I'm just going to talk to you guys about using heart goals to plan your next year. Okay, let me run through what heart goals is first really fast. We can talk about Kanye if you want to. Feel free to throw in like any sort of like input about that. I need to figure out where to file that in my life. So separate conversation, but we can still have it. I have, this is my heart goals workbook that I printed out from last year. The workbook is part of the course, which is live on my website. I can post a link to actually, I think my husband's watching this from the other room. He's going to post the link. It's bit.ly, the bit.ly links, bit.ly/2020 heart goals. That's the link straight to the course page if you wanted to check that out. So heart goals is something that started years ago. It's been through several iterations, but the background on it is pretty much, it's like you get to the end of the year and you want something. I want to go through a review process. I want to look back at the year and see how things have gone. I want to analyze things. I want to figure out what needs to be prioritized and what do I want to schedule for the next year? What do I want to commit to? Things like that. And so this started a long time ago, long time ago. And little by little, it evolved and I would refine and edit things down. And initially, when I started selling this as a product, it's been called a million different things. Not a million different things, probably like 3 different things. So if you've ever bought anything from me around this time of year, like November, December, it's probably been this. It's only in the last 2 years that I've called it specifically heart goals. Because what happened was it started, like initially I was like, I'm going to set 12 goals for the year. And then I realized that was a little bit ambitious and I needed to set some family goals. And I needed to set some goals for some different life categories. And not just all work-focused goals, which initially all my goals were very work-focused. And realizing that I needed to set balanced goals, everything narrowed down to the 5, what we call life segments now. And those are just the 5 areas that you need goals. That's the acronym. HEART stands for, each one of the letters in the acronym stands for one of the life segments. Help yourself, empower yourself, all your people, resources and responsibilities, and trade or career. And the crazy thing about that acronym, and again, well, not again, but you probably also figured out that I was trying to use SMART goals and it wasn't working. And then when I needed an acronym to help me remember, because you guys, I have to have these little mnemonic devices to help me remember stuff. I am just not someone who keeps information really organized in my head. So anything I do need to remember or refer to on a regular basis, I have to create a way. This is how I took tests in school. This is how I've survived in life, was just to create these little ways for me to remember things. And so SMART goals wasn't working. And so I thought, well, what if I, created an acronym around HEART? And then that totally evolved into HEART goals. I got a call, had to decline it. Do you ever get this weird calls? Love it. Hate it. I said love because I was reading Love, Larissa, Love. Thank you for all your sweet comments. I'm excited for the launch tomorrow too. A little bit nervous. It's just been the craziest week with so much happening that's not work related, but still hard to avoid in life. So anyway, but it's happening. Come hell or high water, as I said last night. So HEART goals, when you use it, okay, hang on. Let me just hang on a second. It's been already a crazy morning and I need to stop and gather my thoughts and quit trying so hard, Do you ever do that where you just try too hard? So HEART goals developed and originated from this realization that I was just setting too many goals and in the wrong areas. Another thing that I discovered this past year, my husband and I went to a Tony Robbins conference, and then I went to another Tony Robbins conference because apparently it was the year of Tony Robbins. And one thing he says all the time is, if you're in your head, you're dead. And it clicked with me in a big way because I'm one of those people that wants to say, let me overthink about it. And the question for me became, well, if I'm in my head, and I'm dead, then how do I get to my heart? And a lot of times you've probably heard people say that the longest journey that you'll ever take is the 18 inches from your head to your heart. And so HEART goals is what helps me do that. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to run through really quickly each of the 5 life segments and what those mean. And then I'm going to show you a little bit I'm going to tell you a little bit about the workbook for the course and answer any questions that you guys have about what is the difference between the course and what's in the planner. I can walk you through my printout from last year. It's a PDF printout that you get with the course and videos. I think you get 10, there's 10 videos in the course. And you can sit down and go through, you can do this process all in one day. You can spread it out over the course of 1 week, but it's not super, super long. I don't want you to dwell on this stuff too long. I don't want you to overthink about it. The whole point is just to give you a guided framework to help you review your last year and then outline what you want to happen for next year. And again, the link for that is bit.ly/2020 HEART goals, if you're curious about that. Okay, so really quickly, the HEART acronym, HEART. H stands for help yourself. There are 4 questions that we can ask ourselves in that category. Have I been getting enough sleep? Have I been feeding my body its sleep, nutrition, water, and exercise? Sleep is our first line of defense. Water is our second line of defense. Nutrition and movement or exercise are the third and fourth lines of defense. And in the HEART acronym, this stuff has to go in order. So when we start to analyze our lives, when we look at our lives from a broad like when we step back and say, okay, I'm going to analyze how this past week went, or I'm going to analyze how this past year went. This is where we have to start. Did we get enough sleep? Did we get enough water? Do we eat the right foods? Did we get enough exercise? Jennifer, I will save it, and I will also upload it to YouTube so you can watch it there. So that's H. E is empower yourself. This is your mental faculty. You move from your physical body to your mental space. How are you doing emotionally? How are you doing spiritually? And how are you doing intellectually? Those are the 3 questions that you can ask yourself when it comes to E. Are you empowering yourself? How did you do in each of those areas, as a part of that life segment? The A is all your people. And I like to look at this life segment as a series of concentric circles. And I have this rule that it's not even a rule, it's a theory, but it's something I apply to my life whenever I'm stepping back and analyzing and reviewing how things are going. But it's that I can only have a certain number of meaningful conversations per day. I only have so much emotional energy to pass out and to connect with others, and I need to use that energy wisely. So one of the things I ask myself when I'm analyzing how did the life segment, the A life segment, the all my people life segment work, was did I connect with the people that mattered? And if I'm looking at my life on a daily basis, I'll say like, how much emotional energy do I have for meaningful conversations today? And so I have 4 people and a dog in my immediate life. And a lot of times having a meaningful conversation with those 4 people is all I can manage for a day. And sometimes some of those people don't get the emotional connection. They don't get the meaningful conversation because I'll have to use that energy, that emotional energy, to connect with somebody else for another reason. So I look at that emotional energy as something that as a gift that I have that I can invest in other people, and I have to use it wisely. So when I'm analyzing that life segment of A, all my people, I have to kind of look at it through that lens. The next life segment is R. This is your resources and responsibilities. This is the stuff and things category. This is your financial stuff, like how is the budget looking? This is, the house, like how are we maintaining things? The cars, do we need to get the oil changed? The air filters. This is like the life management stuff. And I don't know about you, but at times in our lives and our marriage, like some of those like responsibility things have started to slide, and that's a pretty dangerous place. So by including those things in the R category of resources and responsibilities, when I am doing an analysis, I can check in with myself on how those have gone over the past year or month, or whatever time period I'm using to analyze those. And the last category is T. The reason it's last is because it's work related. This is trade and career stuff. And the reason it's last is because I think what happened when they introduced, there was a guy who wrote an article in 1981, and it was published in a business management journal about SMART goals. And SMART goals originated as a way for managers to monitor and improve employee performance. It was never intended to be a personal goal setting system. And I think what has happened with SMART goals and why it has just like gone rampant in our culture is because it's what we've learned in corporate America. So those of us who've had corporate jobs have probably sat in a seminar or a training or something like that about SMART goals. And we're like, well, if this works for, setting my goals here at work, then it'll probably work for setting my goals in real life. But it doesn't work. I've tried for years to make SMART goals work, and it just never worked, which is how HEART goals came about and originated. So, where was I going with that train of thought? So the trade goals have to come last. And most of the time, I think when we think about setting goals, we think about work-related goals, or maybe we think about a fitness goal or a health goal, but very rarely do we stop and think about like building more meaningful relationships in our lives, or like how are we doing on just like some smaller things that can make a big difference, like drinking water, or checking in with our mental health, which I'm so thankful is becoming less, a topic that's less and less taboo to talk about, to discuss. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is, how do you take this acronym, this framework of heart goals, and apply it to different time periods of your life? So one example of that is if I'm having a bad day and things are really feeling off balance, which is kind of today, if I'm honest with you guys already. When I am in the right frame of mind, I know that if I will stop and check in with that acronym, I will figure out immediately what is causing my life to go off balance. So I'll just start at the top with H and be like, okay, sleep. Did I get enough sleep? Yes. Water? Need to step that game up. Nutrition? Probably need a salad for Lent. It's just so easy. And once you start to, and sometimes, guys, I barely get through H, and I've already realized like why things are feeling out of balance and lopsided. And the crazy thing about that stuff in H is, outside of sleep, every single thing in that life segment can be checked off a list in a very short amount of time. You can even you don't have to go to the gym and work out for an hour. You can take a 5-minute walk around the block, and it's gonna, get all of the good hormones going in your brain and get all that stuff released and just change your state. That's another Tony Robbins thing. Change your state. I'm not like a Tony Robbins Kool-Aid drinker, but there is some pretty good like life application stuff. Come on, people, stop. Okay, my phone is just ringing. Okay, so what I want to talk to you today about is how to use the Heart Goals framework and each of the 5 life segments to look at your year, look at 2020. How do we use that framework to analyze what happened last year and apply it to our lives going forward? That would be the trash man. Is this video about the new planner? Not specifically. This is about heart goals and using it to apply to your life. So in addition to the new planner, which is launching tomorrow, and what on earth, you guys? Trash man? Trash man is honking at yard, guys. Some drama. Some big time drama. I think my husband's gonna go check it out. Maybe it's going to be like a trash man yard guy throwdown in the middle of the street. Okay. There are 2 video walkthroughs that are uploaded on my YouTube channel, which is just Whitney English on YouTube. One of them I did last night late and uploaded, and then there's also a video that I uploaded. I also uploaded it yesterday, but it's a video I did last week about the new planner. So if you are interested in seeing a walkthrough on the planner, you can check that out. But in addition to the planner, I am also currently offering Heart Goals as a course. This is something that I do once a year. I've done this for the past several years. It's a $49 course, and basically it just takes the Heart Goals framework, which you will learn about in the planner, or you can learn about on my website. You can go click on, if you go to whitneyenglish.com, there's a little spot that says Heart Goals. You can click on that, and it walks you through all of the 5 life segments. And I feel like this message is so important and something that I need to get out there. So if you actually go to my website and click on that link that says Heart Goals, it's not like you need to buy the course to learn the 5 life segments. Like, that is information that I want out there for, it's not like a secret. It won't help anybody. It needs to be out there. So the annual course, the annual Heart Goals course, is really about reviewing your past year and then planning your next year. just kind of in one fell swoop. It's not a planner. There's nothing dated in it. I can turn my camera around and show you guys. This is the same workbook that the course had last year, and you'll see my process. I haven't walked through this for next year yet. Another thing that I want to say really quickly is sometimes if you don't feel like setting annual goals feels right for you, I want you to know that that's okay. Sometimes I have had years where I just can't, I can't see the forest for the trees. I can't review last year because it was too hard. Like some years are just like survival years, and that's okay. Jenny Allen posted a thing on Instagram. I saw it this morning, I guess, or maybe it was last night. But she was like, I just want you to know that you're winning. Wherever you are doing the best you can, and you're winning. And so if you feel like this is, and that's one thing that I love about Heart Goals is you don't have to, it's not a yearly base. It's not an annual thing. It's not a monthly thing. It could be a daily thing. But wherever you are, and, for as far ahead as you can see from where you stand in life right now, you can use Heart Goals to help you. It's not like you have to, you don't have to use it on an annual basis. You don't have to like set goals for the year. And you're allowed to just say, I can only see to the end of next week, or I can only see to the end of today. And I can't worry about the rest of this stuff. I can't worry about career goals or, even getting the air filters on the house changed, so they go another month and they're not changed. Like, is anybody going to die? No, and so anyway, just if you're in that, like, I'm just trying to survive and I'm just trying to get by mode, the things that I want you to know are that's okay. And go read Jenny Allen's post, because you're winning and you're doing a great job right where you are. And you can still learn what Heart Goals is. You can still go to my website and click on that Heart Goals link and learn about what each of those 5 life segments are, and figure out how to apply those to your days and your weeks. And then if you're in more of a spot where you're like, no, I'm good. I can reflect on last year, and there are things that I want to change, and I'm ready to do that. And then I'd also like to use some of that information to figure out what I want to do for the next year. Then the annual course is something that you might be interested in. But I just feel like that's an important differentiation point, like, to make, is that it's not for everybody, because sometimes, like, it's just, you're just in survival mode, So I would say that the course itself, if you're in survival mode, just get a planner, check that box, use Heart Goals in there, you'll be great. But if you're feeling kind of ambitious, like you do want to do some analysis of the past year and look at your year going forward, then the course is something that you might be interested in. So I'm going to turn my camera around. I'm getting better at the turn my camera around thing. And I'm going to show you guys, let me see, I'm going to do it vertical like this. Hang on. Bear with me. And got to switch a few things. Here we go. Okay. What? That's not going to work. Hang on. Okay. I'm going to do it vertical. You guys are seeing the leftover stuff from last night as well. Okay. It's not great, but it's vertical, so you can see it. Is that good? Sorry about my dress and my bare feet. Okay. So this is the workbook that you get. It's a PDF workbook. You get it when you buy the course. You can use this in conjunction with any planner that you want to. Again, part of my purpose behind getting both the course and the planner out there is I want to teach people about Heart Goals. And I've got a plan. One of the planners is right there, plus coffee. Okay, real life. Okay, so this is the table of contents. There are 10 exercises and some bonus resource worksheets. There is an overview about the Heart Goals process right here, and there are videos for every page that's kind of a little explanation page like this. There is also a video to go with it. And then there is a really simple just goal idea page. And then I'm going to show you these symbols, the check marks, all of these things are that I've put in these columns. This is part of this system that Heart Goals will walk you through. So when you're going through the course, the first thing that you're going to do is you're just going to write down like all the ideas that you thought you might want to go do. And then later in the course, you'll go back and you'll apply some of this stuff here to help you sort and organize your goals. There is an overview of the HEART acronym, which I just talked with you about a little bit. And this is another goal ideas page I had. There are extra goal idea pages included in the course. So there's one in the book, and then if you wanted to print out more, you can print out extras if you want. There is a copyright on this, and there is a print license that expires next December. So December 1st, 2020. This is my copy from last year, but the new workbook is exactly like this. And you do get a print license for this, to print one copy for yourself, not for other people. You can't share it, and print it for 1 year. So the first exercise is about mastering your mindset. And so there is just a little walkthrough about that. There's a video in the course about this as well. And then there's a lies and truth exercise to help you get in the right framework. The next exercise is an exercise about letting go. That's this one. There are 10 total exercises. The next exercise, I'll keep it turned like this, is called the 1-5-10. So this is just an exercise that kind of helps you I call this also the crystal ball exercise. It kind of helps you predict a future, even though that's not actually possible. It does help a lot. Then there is exercise 4 is about your vision. And when you move to exercise 5, we get into sort of like a mind map, which is very similar to this. Exercise 5 and 4 are very similar. Exercise 4 is really about just like writing it all out. And exercise 5 is about visualizing it in a picture format. Then exercise 6 is a life assessment exercise. There is a notes page here because I always put a little notes page in anytime when I format workbooks like this. I do this myself, you guys. But when I format workbooks, I wanted this. This is all about, you're going to analyze the life segment of H, help yourself, on this page. So I wanted there to be instructions on this page, but then I wanted you to be able to reference that on the opposite page. So that is why if you print this double-sided, you'll have this notes page right here. That's why that's inserted right there. So this is the life segment. This is the life segment for Help Yourself. And again, the course kind of like walks you through what you'll want to do with these symbols right here. And then this is the E, Empower Yourself life assessment exercise, the A, All Your People life assessment exercise, and your R, your resources and responsibilities, and your trade and talent and career exercise. So these 5 pages will walk you through looking at what your vision for that life segment is, and then what needs to change with some little prompts right here in this column. And then we move to execution, which is all about like, how do we make this stuff happen in the next year? So what you're going to do after that is you're going to sort and organize your goals. And the course will walk you through. This it's this goal grid, and it's this idea of it takes each of the 5 areas, each of the 5 life segments across the top here, and then it takes different time periods right here. So daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly, and long term. And so you can plug all the things that you wrote down in the first part of the planner, you can start to plug those in right here. And another thing that I really like about doing this process on an annual basis is I will be able to look back at my year last year when I go through this again and just, figure out, like, did I do it? Like, I wanted to paint on a monthly basis just for relaxing. I wanted to have a date night once a month. Like, did I do those things? And so it just kind of helps me reflect and think, well, if I had done those things, like, how would it have gone? I do love to paint anything. And I have done a lot of painting this year, so I can check that one off. And then we get into exercise 9, which is the goal dashboards. And these are where you're going to break down, you can mark which life segment that goal is going to apply to. You can write out the goal. You can define the purpose of the goal, which if you're looking for motivation, like one thing that I love to help people with is inspiration and motivation. And all the experts, all the researchers and scientists and all that, they say that your motivation comes from defining your purpose and knowing what your why is, which I just think is really interesting. My purpose for trying to get Heart Goals out into the world is I really believe it will help people. And whenever I start to get nervous about not feeling qualified to be the carrier of that message, who am I to think that I could do this, whatever. There's a lot of self-doubt there. I remember that this is going to help people, and that's all that matters. And so it kind of takes the fear out of things. One of the questions that the goal dashboards ask is, how will this process change you? And the reason why that's important is because, a lot of times the very purpose of setting a goal isn't to achieve anything. It's to change who we see ourselves as. And if we don't change our vision, the vision of who we are, we're going to have a lot. This is also a scientific research back little piece of information. It's hard to separate ourselves from our self-image. So visualizing how this goal is going to change us is going to help us embrace that new vision of ourselves and step into that person. Because really, that's why we're setting goals, is we're trying to change how we see ourselves. And a lot of times that requires actual tangible action to make happen. But it's interesting that those two things are so connected. So then visualize outcomes. And then last but not least, pretty important, is really identifying what your potential obstacles are. And then again, visualizing yourself overcoming. So the visualization process of setting goals for the next year is really fleshed out on these goal dashboard pages. So there's a few of those. You can have as many as you like, but again, I would encourage you not to overwhelm yourself with that. And then on the back of each of these pages, there is a spot for you to break down that goal into milestones and tasks. I'll be honest, I don't use these pages a whole lot. I tend to be somebody that just needs to know that the goal is out there. And then depending on, I'm not a huge scheduler, believe it or not. I typically try to accomplish 3 meaningful or productive things per day. And I just don't allow myself to be stressed out about if I have met a schedule or a deadline or stayed on a timeline or anything like that. That works against me. I know for some people it works for them, but not for me. So I don't use these pages a lot, but for those of you who really want a place to break down that goal and really outline all that stuff, this is the worksheet where you'll use that. And then this is the goal dashboard. another goal dashboard page. And then we get into the scheduling. And I've got just some notes here about scheduling. How do you decide what to pull from your goal dashboards and put in your planner? And so exercise 10 is a scheduling session about getting this stuff into your planner. So there is a checklist here for pretty much like setting your planner up and getting your goals in your planner. And then there are some bonus worksheets, your ideal day and daily habits. Here's that worksheet. And then this is a habit tracker. Again, I'm not really great about the habit tracking thing. I use the HEART Goals acronym on a daily basis for things like this. So I don't really necessarily track my water. It's just more on the checklist in my head of something I need to do. And then also a bonus worksheet is this financial organizer, which is one of my favorite things. I keep this filled out, and it's something I can look at when my husband and I are talking about budget stuff, and it shows me what's coming up, so I don't have to keep it all in my head. So this is a really important worksheet in our lives. And then there are some quarterly check-ins right here. If you get the planner, there are also monthly check-ins in the planner. And then this is a free worksheet that is available. Actually, it's not available on the website right now, but it will be tomorrow when the website's live again. My blog website is currently live. So you can go to, hang on, I'm going to turn the camera around. Okay, let's see. How do I, come on, little thing. Okay. So you can go to my website right now and learn about HEART Goals. You can click top right-hand corner. There's a button that says HEART Goals. You can go, if you want to buy the course, you can go to bit.ly/2020 HEART Goals and buy it there. You can... and then this is a free printable that is in the shop part of the website. The shop part of the website is not live right now, so you can't get that. But that is a free printable that is available in the shop that you can get and use when you start trying to apply HEART Goals to your life. Had to travel. Looking forward to working on it soon. I'm catching up on live since finishing the last project. Yeah. Well, you guys let me know. We've already had a few people buy it. It's actually, HEART Goals has been live on the website for a little bit. So a few people have kind of found it. I haven't really been promoting it or talking about it. If you guys want to, and I'm putting this out to my community, so you let me know what works for you. But if there's a way that I am not big on Facebook, you guys, I am just this close to just giving it up. But so I'm not proposing a Facebook group, but there could probably be some other ways we could get a little group together to work through this together to encourage you guys. That could be like a private Instagram account. Actually have one of those I did with the Faster Way to Fat Loss people. We could just use that. I could just add people there. You guys let me know what you want me to do and how I can serve you, because that's where my heart is right now. Okay, I'm going to hop off here. And so if you're just now joining, this wasn't about the new planner. This was about the 2020 HEART Goals course, which is currently live. The planner will be available for sale tomorrow in the shop. It'll be shop.whitneyenglish.com. You can't get in there right now. There's a password on it. But it's almost done. I'm working on the website. My husband's working on it. And you guys just let me know what you need, because I'm happy to do more walkthroughs or talk to you about it. I'm totally starting from scratch on this, and there's just a handful. Like, one of the beautiful things that I love about this is there's just like a handful of people paying attention, which really means a lot to me. There's like 15 of you watching this right now, and this is my favorite part of this. When it gets super big and crazy, which has happened a couple other times in my life, it's always a different season. So I'm really savoring these moments with those of you guys who are here and investing your time into watching this and participating in this with me right now. So thank you. Danielle. Okay. Y'all shoot, if you're interested in doing a small group, just shoot me a direct message and we'll figure something out. Thank you, Maureen. Thank all of you guys. Tammy, thank you guys. I'll be around. I'll see you guys later. Have a good day.